الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللقاء الفات كنا نحكي عن internal rate of return, IRR, and we talk about the IRR and net present value. Okay, and we mentioned that IRR has some problems. One of these problems that if we have some negative cash flows. For instance, if you look at this example here, if we have the initial investments, for instance, is $10,000, okay, and we have cash inflow $3,000, $2,000, and see here is minus $3,000, and here is $4,000, or say 6,000. In this case, if we apply IRR, we will end up with 2 IRR. This is the problem. If you look at this example in here, we have at 10%, the net present value is equal 0. Then at 20%, the net present value is also equal 0. So this is the problem of the IRR. The question how we can sort out this problem by using the modified internal rate of return. What is the concept behind the IRR, which is the modified internal rate of return, is to try to remove the impact of negative side. So we ask ourselves, where is the cash outflow? In here, we have this is the cash outflow. So we try to discount this and add it to the initial investments. Then we calculate the how we do this. This is coming in the third year. Okay, 3,000, 1 discounted by 1 plus k raised to the power n. K here is the cost of capital, as I mentioned before. Then we have, for instance, 3, 1, and we use k at 10% raised to the power 3. Calculate this, please. Yes, in negative. Just to show you how it works. 2.2. So 2.2 is the discounted cash outflow. So here we amend now the results and see now the streamline how it looks like. Okay? So we have 0, we have 1, we have 2, we have a 3, and we have 4. We added 10 to 2.2, so we have 12.2. So the initial investment becomes 12.2. Now we have 3,000s, we have 2,000s, and here what we have? We have 0. Yes, you are right, and we have here 6. Then we calculate the IRR as normal, try and error. Okay? So this is the idea of IRR, modified internal rate of return. Any question? Any question for the IRR? No questions? So the modified internal rate of return deals with the problem of multiple IRR, as I mentioned. This is done by rearranging the cash flows so that there is only on one change of a sign of the cash flow over the life. So if you observe here, we only have the positive signs in the cash flow or in the discounted cash flow. And we have only one negative sign in the initial investments. Okay? So this is the two steps as we did here. The first step is to discount the cash outflow and add it to the initial investment. Then the second step is to calculate the IRR. Otherwise, we will end up with two IRRs. So in this case, we will have many IRRs, but in this case, we have only one IRR. So this is how we remove the impact of multi-cash outflows. Okay, you can take this example as well. So how many cash outflow we have here? We have the initial investment and we have the negative cash flow. So what we can do? Yeah, we discounted this. We discounted this by 12%. Okay, let's do it together here. So we discounted this 310 200s. So 310,200 divided by 1 plus k is 12% raised to the power 2. Okay, so what is the result? $237,000. 290. Okay, so what is the streamline looks like, the new streamline looks like? So we have here 0, we have 1, and we have 2. So in 2 we have 0. Yes? In 1 we have 40,000s or 540,000s and 500s. And the initial investment is 235,000 plus 247,290. So what is now? 482. 290 and negative. And now we can use the IRR. We can estimate the IRR. In the previous one, we end up with a 2 IRR, and in the new one, we have only 1 IRR. Okay? You see? Yes, this is 482.90, 290, and we have this, and 0. In terms of your exam, I may ask you how we can sort out this problem. I mean, I give you the streamline, and I'm asking you to rearrange the streamline by using the modified internal rate of return. Just do it in this way, as I mentioned in this example. Okay? Okay, now the payback periods. Now, what it means, the payback periods? The payback period means that's how long it takes to repay, or let's say, to pay back our initial investments. For instance, if your initial investment is $10,000, so how you will back the $10,000? How long it takes? Now, in this case, we are asking about the number of years, or about the periods. And this is the initial question when you are answering whether you accept or reject your investment, how long it takes. Okay? It takes 2 years, 3 years, or whatever. So the decision in this case depends on that the project with the shorter period is more acceptable than the project with the longer period. So if I'm trade-off between two projects, project A and project B, and the payback period of project A is 3 years and this is 5 years, so definitely I will accept the project A. Okay? Again, but there is a problem in this. Can you consider what is the problem?
Time value.
Yes, the first one is the time value of money. Let's see, consider this case. If we have this investment, so this is the cash flow. Okay. And this is the cash flow. The initial investment is $10,000. Fine. This is the initial investments. In year 1, we get 3,000. In year 2, 2,000. Then year 3, 4,000. And let's say 2,500 and 4,000. This is the stream of cash flow. The first question the investors asking themselves, how long it takes to return our money? Okay, this is the initial question that they're asking. So how they do this, it is very simple. Let's take, the first one is 3,000. How much I need? I need 7,000. Yes? If we add up,
5,000.
so we need 5,000. If we add the 4,000, so we have, so 3 to 5, we have minus 1,000. In here we have 1,500 plus. Okay? So what it exactly means, it means it takes 3 years and,
0.4.
okay, so we have 1,000 spent in the year 4. It means 1,000 divided by 2,500. Okay, so it's 0.4. What it means it takes 3 years and 0.4 of the year. So if you convert it to the month, just time 0.4 times 12. 0.4 times 12. 4.8. Approximately 5 months. So it takes around 3 years and 5 months. If you want to estimate based on the days, number of days, just time 0.4 time 365. You will.
146.
So it takes 3 years and 146 days. So here years and here days, number of days. If you want to calculate based on the week, again, very simple, just 0.40 times time 52 weeks. Okay? So the idea is here in the payback period is how to think on the time period of money, which is, this is related to the time value of money, or related to the time, how long it takes to return our money back, or our money back. But the net present value, or the IRR, using different methodology to estimate the feasibility of the projects. Again, as I mentioned in the IRR and net present value, means all of them have some limitations. Okay? The limitations of this, as you mentioned, that the payback period ignore the importance of time value of money. For instance, if you look back at this example here, we don't care at what time the cash flow is coming. We only do care about when we can return back our money. So we treated $3,000 in the first year as $2,000 in the second year, and this is unfair because the value of $4,000 coming in the third year is not as the value of the $4,000 is coming in the first year. Okay? So this is why the importance of modifying the payback period to reflect the time value of money. This is the first problem. The second problem is we ignoring the cash flow beyond the payback period. Look at here, for instance. In this example in here, we ignore the $4,000 and 2,500s. In here, we ignore the 2,500s. Okay? We just consider the 1,000s and we ignore the 1,500s. And we ignore the 4,100s. Sometimes, in some projects, the cash flow is coming at late time. Okay? So it is unfair just to consider the cash flow coming in the very early stages in the project life. Okay? This is the problem. The second problem is when we have mutually exclusive investments, we don't have a cutoff period. For instance, who said the 3 years is acceptable? And who said the 4 years is acceptable? Now, the decision criteria in this, on this example, we said, okay, if we return back our money in 3 years, this is fine, is acceptable. But in this example, we return our money back at 3 and 5 months, so it is not acceptable. The question is, who set the parameters of the period of time? Yes, so the problem is, every project has its unique advantages or has its unique services. So the important in the cutoff, there is no agreement between the financial analyst what is the acceptable payback period. We cannot claim, okay, 3 years is fine, 5 years is fine, and we cannot judge on this. This is the problem. But we can judge on the 10% IRR is much better than the 8% IRR. This is very simple. But in terms of the payback periods, we don't have a clear cutoff points. So this is the problems of the payback periods. However, it is easier to use, easier to apply, and managers, they apply this. Particularly the old people, the first question they ask when you return your money back. They don't ask about your payback, your return or your IRR or something, because this is the normal things. Okay, so how we can modify this? We discounted the cash flow, then we do it again. Okay, let's see our example. Okay, so consider the K is equal 5%. So now we want to recalculate the payback periods. So 3,000 divided by 1 plus k is 5% raised to the power 1. Then 2000s, 1 plus k raised to the power 2. 4000s, 1.05 raised to the power 3. Then 2500s, 1.05 raised to the power 4. What is in here? In 5? Year 5? No? Okay.
4,000
4000s. Okay, 4000s. You may need it. 1.05 raised to the power 5. Okay? So what is the result here? What do you think? The payback period take longer time or shorter time? This is the question for the people coming at late. What do you think? In here, the payback period in this case take longer time or shorter time? You don't need even to think. Sorry? Comparing with this results, it takes longer time or shorter time? Sorry? Say it again. Longer time. Yes, definitely longer time, because you are discounted the cash flow, so you need more time to compensate the discount rates. So definitely it takes longer time. Okay, so careful in the multiple choice questions. Sometimes in your multiple choice questions, you don't even need to use the calculator. You don't even just. If, for instance, if we calculate the payback period is 3 years, then we use the modified payback period. What is the results? Use the multiple choice. 1, 2, 3, 4 results. Is equal to 3 years? Is greater than 3 years? Is less than 3? None of the above. I know some students, they keep themselves busy in doing the calculations. You don't need to use the calculator here. See how you save your time? Yes, very simple. It must be greater than 3 years. Okay? Just make your mind up. Okay, so what's the result? Yes, the first one? 57. Okay, ignore the
1,814.
14.
Yes. 3,455.
Please keep quiet. 3,000?
455.
55.
2,056.
50.
Yani all
6. Like this.
3,134.
33.
4.
34. Okay. Now, what we have? You can use different methodologies. So just add up 2,800 to 1,000. Add up with this. Here we have 2,857. Add this 1,800 to...
10,000.
No. Do it in different way. Just add this to this one. I'm trying to use different methodology. 4,000.
671.
71. Okay. Now add this to this.
8,126.
26. Now add this.
10,182.
82. Yes. Okay, so I think that the answer is 3 years and maybe 11 months. Because we are on the edge. How we add this? Just divided 182 divided by 2056. Sorry? No, 182, the 4%. 0.08. So 0.08 time by, let's see, 12 months. Because we have 3 years.
1.06.
It's just only 1 month. So it means the 3 months, 3 years and 11 months, approximately. So it takes, in the previous one, it takes 3 years and 5 months. After we discounted the cash flow, it takes 3 years and 11 months. So it takes longer time. Okay? Any question? I use 2 different methodologies. Just try to think in different ways. Okay? Okay. Take your time. Okay? I think I shouldn't answer this question. Just keep focus on Asian. This is more important than what you're asking. What I did in this is the cash flow, is 2,800. Now add is accumulative. This is accumulative. 1,800 to the 2,000 is 4,000. Then add this, you have 8,000. Then add this, you have 10,000. Because we know this is the initial investment is 10,000, just stop in here. We have just additional $182. From our experience, because we have 10,000 and 182, compare the 182 to 2,000 is coming at the end of the year. Sorry? I use 2 different methodologies. Why? Because in some books you have this methodology, in other books they have this methodology. So you are free to do what you want. At the end of the day, you have the same answer. Okay? Yeah, just stop here. Do the accumulative. This, starting by, then add is like this. Okay? Then you have 10,000. Stop. Okay, so 10,000 you used. So 10,000, you only have the addition 182. Okay, so divided by 2. You consume all of this 2,000 from the financial perspective. You consume all of the 2,056, and you have the rest addition of 182. Okay, so try to use the makeup of this amount. Okay. Okay. Okay, now, what is the beauty of, or the advantages of the payback periods or the modified payback periods? The importance of the modified and payback periods, both of them are easier to understand and to prepare as well. You don't have even that mathematical skills to calculate the payback period and the modified payback period. Okay, this is the things. And another attractive of the payback periods and modified payback periods, it considers the time risk. What it means, Because people, they like that the cash flow is coming in the early stages. Okay? To secure that they retain back their money in the very early stages in the business life. So it reflects the risk of the business. So payback period can be seen as a crude indicator of risk, as a payback favors initial year cash flows. I mean the early stages or the first year, which is in general are risky than more distant cash flows. Because if the cash flow is coming at late, it means we have risk. So we want to secure the, okay, you know, in the Egyptian style, they said, نتلاقي مع الفلوس. You know what it means? Show the money. Okay, the money first coming is fine. If it's coming at late, it means we may subject to risk. Okay? That's fine. Discounted payback period is a supplemental analytical tool in cases where the risk is considered in our example. For instance, in the big companies, they ask the first question, when return back our money, particularly in the high competition environments. To secure your cash flow in the early stages is much better than the late stages. Particularly if you are launching new products and other companies, they are observing and they may launch a copy of your product, so they want to ensure that they secure the early cash flow. The payback period is useful when capital is being rationed and managers would like to know how long a project will tie up a capital. Okay, for the rational managers, because they have a series of investments, so they would think, okay, when can I get my money back? Then we start a new project and new investments and so on. This table shows the comparison between the net present value, IRR, payback period, modified internal rate of return, and modified payback periods. Now, this is the summary of the investment criteria here. According to the recent research in finance and investments, they claim that the net present value and the IRR are the most important tools in addressing the investment criteria, or to select between the investment projects. And what is the results? As we observe, the results show that net present value and IRR methods are the most popular. Also, many firms use payback period methods. If you look at this chart, what you observe the internal rate of return and the net present value is the most common used by the financial manager or by the investment managers. And profitability index is the least used by the financial managers and the investment managers. Okay, so however, the payback period still is important, but not in the same or not similar to the IRR and net present value. If you see here, approximately we have 80% of the managers using the IRR and net present value, and around 60% using the payback period, and discounted profitability index approximately 30%. Okay, so this shed more light on the importance of the net present value and the IRR. Okay, any question of this? On the importance of net present value and IRR? Okay, key terms. just to say goodbye to this chapter? Okay. Or don't say goodbye, please. Sorry? I don't know. The cost. Okay, so saying goodbye by capital rationing. Capital rationing, it means if we have different investments and we have only to select one investment. This is capital rationing. It's like you are ranking the investments. See, this investment according to the IRR is ranking like this, according to net present value, and then you trade off between the projects. Discounted payback periods, equivalent annual cost, and we know how we calculate the equivalence annual cost. This is, we apply this if we replace old machine by the new one. Independent investment projects, if the project is not dependent on other projects, so we can apply the net present value in here. Internal rate of return, IRR. Okay, modified internal rate of, because of the weaknesses of IRR, we apply the modified internal rate of return, and we'll show you how we can is like unify the signal or the sign of the cash flow. Mutually exclusive investments. If we have different investments, okay, we can apply IRR, we can apply BI, we can apply the payback period to trade off between different projects and different investments. Net present value. Just to remind you, the net present value is the discounted cash flow minus the initial investment or initial investment. Okay, the same things. Net present value profile, payback period, profitability index. Okay, now we can say goodbye to this chapter. Okay, see you inshallah on Saturday. What I'm going to do, listen please, is to how to write financial reports. Okay, so I'm inviting you to attend the class of writing financial reports. Okay, that's it. اوكي نقول لكم يعني الحمد لله على سلامتكم بالفصل، وشكرا كثير لكم على حسن الاستماع.